guys, today we're going to talk about wrist pain. Whether you have it from working on a keyboard or when you're doing your workouts, we're going to address what could be causing it. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to work through the top of those wrist extensors. So using a lacrosse ball at home up against a wall, we are focusing anywhere through the top of this forearm, leaning in, adding pressure, trying to find wherever this feels more tender for you. We want to avoid going down towards the bottom near that wrist because we're just going to be rolling over bones versus we're trying to address all the muscles that attach into that wrist. When we work through here, we want to work through here for about a minute at a time. Now we're going to address the wrist flexors, so the bottom of that forearm. Doing this at home on a countertop or a hard surface, same thing. We're working anywhere through the bottom of this forearm. We can add that other hand on top for some added pressure if you'd like. But again, just trying to find wherever this feels more tender for you. When we're working through either of these areas, the ball doesn't always have to be moving. If you find that really tender spot, you can just let it sit and hold and add pressure. Next, we're going to address stretching through the wrist flexors and extensors as well. So on a countertop or any surface at home, we're going to turn those fingertips in towards ourselves and leaning in, adding a slight bit of pressure. When we do this stretch, we don't want to force it too much, but we do want to feel a stretch through the bottom portion of that forearm. We can lean back slightly to make that stretch a little bit more intense. Stretching through the wrist extensors, so through the top of that forearm, is a little bit more tricky. So we're going to make an L with our hand. We're going to turn that L away from our body, and then we're leaning back into that L shape that we're making with our hand. So we don't want to just turn our wrist this direction. We want to put it at a slight angle so that we're actually stretching through the top of this forearm here. And you can kind of play with the angle of your hand whenever we're doing this, so you might feel it more one direction or another direction, but same thing, we should be feeling this stretch through the top of that forearm. We would hold this for about a minute as well. Hopefully these simple exercises will help get rid of that nagging wrist pain that you're having. What we're doing is addressing everything that attaches into that wrist. So we don't actually have muscles in the wrist, it's just a lot of bones and tissues. So by addressing everything that's connecting into it, it will help loosen up that wrist itself. Thanks, guys.